Now for the Library Method Compound Identification tab. In the Library Method Compound Identification tab, we have some choices. Maximum hit count. Now typically that would be 1, so there's 1 library hit per component. But if I wanted the component to remember other hits which met the criteria, that could happen if I said I'll take 3 hits per component, and then I could look at them and examine them. Depends on your workflow. Minimum match factor. So that's a library match score, and it includes the retention time penalty, which is going to be reported. So if it falls below this, then that match isn't good enough for me to consider looking at. This threshold is important. 70 is considered to be quite probable. 80 and 90 scores are very possible. As you drop below 50, the chances that you have a correct identification tend to drop dramatically. The minimum M/Z is the masses that you don't want to participate in the library match score calculation. So if you have lower ions in your scan range that you do not want to consider, you can chop them out here. They'll show up in the component spectra potentially, but they're not used in the library match score. Next, library search type. So we've been talking about spectral searching. There's a couple of different choices here. One is retention time match. So I discussed briefly that you could use a library that just had retention times in it and no spectra. That might work with chromatography signals. And last, accurate mass pattern match. This kind of pattern match is typically used in LC-MS with a molecular ion and its associated adducts. You can synthesize those molecular patterns, isotopic clusters, and they will be stored in the entry for that hit. So multiple spectra are stored, and the searching algorithm will examine each one of those and report back the best to cover the case where you might have an adduct formed in electrospray that's stronger than the original molecular ion. But the main point is, if you have multiple spectra for a particular hit, this will return the best score within that set. Last, multi-library search type. I've got 2 choices: all, which searches all the libraries that I've set out and returns the best library match score, and potentially stop when found. So if I put a smaller reference library in front of a larger library, I might just want to stop if I've found what I'm looking for in that smaller library. By the way, this does work with the maximum hit count, so it will continue if you ask for more hits. Thanks for your attention.